Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In this video, we will be taking a very good look at the grammatical analysis of this ayah from Surah Al-Ma'idah. Let me show you the reference. Yes. Now, this is the reference. This ayah is from the Quran, Surah Al-i-Imran, and verse number 92. Yeah. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So, we are just going to wait a second. We will only just be taking a look at this part of the ayah, but not, the entire ayah itself. Let's first take ourselves a very good look at the word tanalu. Okay, now look. So the sorry, tanalu na. Now, before you say the Quran says tanalu, then why would I be writing tanaluna? In Arabic, the present tense. Oops. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Sorry for the technical difficulties. So in Arabic, we have something we call the present tense, and not just in Arabic, we have it in every single language. Okay. Now the present tense in Arabic is called the fi'l, the fi'l mudari', right? We call it the fi'l mudari'. Now the thing with the fi'l mudari' is this. If I want to say, for example, I'm referring to a friend of mine, and I would say you drink. You drink something, you drink water, you drink a juice or something like that, but you drink. Okay, I would say sheen ra ba, and I would do this. I would add a ta with it in the very beginning, right? Now this ta here actually means you in the present tense, right? So the entire sentence would be tashribu. There was supposed to be a re here, so yeah, tashribu. The good translation of this would be you drink. And one amazing thing about present tenses in Arabic is that you don't really need to memorize the future tense, because if I just say you drink, if I just like I said tashribu, it can have two translations. It can either mean you drink, or it can also either mean you will drink, right? So just like in different languages, in Urdu, in Spanish or something like that, you need to memorize the past tense, the present tense, and the future tense, right? But in Arabic, you don't really need to do that. All you have to do is just memorize the past tense, and present and future tense is expressed by the same word. Okay, so if I say tashribu, it can either mean you drink in the present, or it can either mean that you will drink in the future, right? Now, how do I know what, like, for example, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the day of judgment, then it's obvious he's talking about the future, right? Because, the day of judgment is not taking place right now in the present. So, from the siyaq, I mean context, from the context, just from common sense, you'd be able to recognize that, what's being talked about. Is the present being talked about, or is what the future is that's being talked about? Okay. Now, another thing about present tenses in Arabic, you know, in present tenses, if I want to say you all drink, or you all will drink, right? I would say the same thing. I would say tashribu, right? I would say tashribu, but with a slight difference. If you want to make something plural in Arabic, this is what you do. You add una at the end, right? So tashribuna, I forgot to add the ba there. Okay, kind of messed up. Tashribuna, right? In order for you to be able to make something plural in Arabic, all you have got to do is just add an una in the at the very end. So this una makes it plural, makes the present tense plural, and the ta means you, right? So the sentence would be you all drink. Or if you want to translate this into the future, depending upon the context, it would mean you all will drink. Okay. Now that was some of our, discussion about the present tense, right? Now let's take a good look at the word learn. Okay, at the word learn. So the word learn. Now, for those who know just a little bit of Arabic, there are three types of word in Arabic. Any word you look at in the Quran or in any kind of other Arabic literature or something like that, it can either be an ism, it can either be a fi'l, right? Or it can either be a harf. It can either be a harf, right? Now, lan actually is a harf, okay? It's a harf. Now, learn is a kind of word which does not have a meaning of its own, but if you say learn, right, and then add a present tense in Arabic, in this box, in this blank, I can write any present tense I want. What would this learn do to the present tense, right? So, learn does not have a meaning of its own, but it does have some effects on the present tense. Remember, I told you that the present tense in Arabic can be talking about the present or it can also be talking about the future depending upon the context. Alhamdulillah. Whenever you write lan before a present tense in Arabic, you will be restricted to translate the present tense into the future tense. So, for example, if I write lan tash tash lan tash sorry lan just give me a give me a second. Tash tashribu. If I say lan tashribu, I can no longer translate it as you drink because this would be incorrect. This would be wrong. I have to translate it as I have to translate it as a future tense, right? I can no longer say lan tashribu means you drink. It would only mean you will drink. Okay. Now let me just make it plural. Just like tanaluna, we would have una or buna at the end, right? Tashribuna. So let's take a good look at the effects caused by learn. The effects caused by learn are these. Number one effect is that you gotta translate the present tense into the future. It pushes the meaning of the present tense into the future. Okay. Now the second tense in Arabic terminology, we call this making the present tense or fi'al mudari'. In Arabic terminology, we call it making a present tense majzoom, right? Making it majzoom. Now, what do I mean by majzoom? From majzoom, I mean this. When you add lan, there is no need for the noon. The noon gets dropped, you know. Right? So remember, I told you in order for you to be able to make a present tense plural, you would have to add a len in the very beginning. Sorry, you would have to add an una at the very end, right? But if you want to make it plural, while you have a len in the very beginning, you would have to cut this noon out. And instead of the noon, you would have to put an alif at the very end, right? Okay, this was the second effect of len. If you say len, right? If you say learn, it makes the present tense majzoom. Dropping the noon, in Arabic terminology, we call it making it majzoom. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Now, another thing, well, there are three effects. Alhamdulillah. The very first effect is that we can no longer translate the present tense as the present tense. We now are restricted to translate it into the future, right? So we got it future tense. Alhamdulillah. And the second effect would be to make it majzoom, which is dropping the noon. That is something we have done already with tashribuna. Lan tashribu na would be incorrect, so we wrote lan tashribu. We dropped the noon. Now the third effect is the last effect, and that is, wait, I forgot about it myself. What was it? Oh yeah, it means a strong negation, right? A strong negation. So if I write lan tashribu, right? I will no longer translate it as you will drink. I would say you will never ever drink, right? Now this would be the correct translation of lan tashribu, or anything that comes after the lan. Well, the video is a bit too long, so inshallah ta'ala we'll meet you in part 2. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.